Hey everyone, Chris here and welcome to another AV product brief. Creating some of the biggest buzz at this year's NAB show in Vegas is this little guy, the Magewell Director Mini. Director Mini, as Magewell describes it, is a portable device that does multi-input switching, graphics, streaming, recording and monitoring. Which is all a bit like saying an iPhone is a device to make phone calls, compose emails and play Farmville. Magewell is well known and well regarded for its converters and capture cards. I had a look at its Fusion box last year and I was impressed by just how much Magewell managed to cram into one small unit. Little did I know what was in store. Director Mini crams a mind-boggling array of features into a device not much bigger than a couple of smartphones lying on top of each other. I know this is a little out of the ordinary, but I wanted to get a second opinion involved in this AV product brief. I'm going to introduce you to Adrian Davis, Operations Manager and Broadcast Specialist at the AV Group. The Director Mini is right up Adrian's alley, and I wanted to get his take.
Thanks, Chris. Look, this product is absolutely ridiculous. I'm going to hold it up here because that's the easiest way to show it off. So it's got HDMI inputs on the side, it's got USB on the side, it's got USB on the other side, audio in and out on the side, a power button, takes NP batteries on the back. On the bottom, not to be confused with everything else, has an Ethernet jack for gigabit Ethernet, does an SD card, has a USB-C for monitor output and power. What's ridiculous about it, and if we actually have a look at the screen right now, is I'm actually using this right now, and what we're seeing here is actually some feeds over SRT coming over the internet, and these are two camera angles from a rugby match that's actually happening in Adelaide as we speak, which is convenient because I can actually show it off. One of the cool things is we can do replay. So if we see this close angle here, the scoring's not mattered. So we want to see that as a replay, boonk, straight in and replay. And just as simple as that, it's got replay. What's ridiculous though is how much they're actually packing into such a small box. So we've seen that we can put a few different cameras in there. We can plug USB webcams in. I'm actually going to start holding myself to time because otherwise I'm going to get out of control. So let's just put a timer on here. Let's grab a duration. I'm going to set it for 3 minutes. That's actually a good time. Let's hit save. Let's bring that up and let's start that running. So we're going to click on here and we're going to start the clock like so. So I've got 3 minutes to try and get through all the rest of the stuff that it does. So inputs, back to there. That's where we started. We can add HDMI inputs, as I've said, a webcam input. And just to show how simple that is, let's grab a little Huddly Go. Let's plug that in. Let's throw that webcam input in. We'll shove that on the top like so. And just like that, you can see that, yes, I'm not actually in the harbor. I'm actually on this green screen, this very wide angle lens. And all of a sudden now I have another input that I can now talk to and point to the graphics. But we're not going to use that camera. So let's get rid of that one because that's a horrible shot up the nose. So we've got the inputs on there. We've got other inputs. We've got video clips that can play back off its SD card or its inbuilt media. It's got pictures you can put in. You can now, this is the crazy part. Normally, if you look at OBS or something like that, you want to bring in an RTMP stream from someone else. Normally, you've got to set up a server in the cloud and then poke it all around. This, you can actually just set up your own server using the RTMP push right here. And I'm putting so many streams in as it is now. As you can see, you can pull 3 streams in, you can pull a camera in and all of a sudden use it. You can use NDI, which I'm using here. It's ridiculous. What's crazy though, is you can also create your own scenes with anything. So let's use a picture, for example. So let's grab from the SD card, let's grab a photo from a holiday. There we go, a couple of birds, wonderful. Let's frame that up properly. So I can scan and pan and focus it right up. So there's gonna be my beautiful background, but let's add in some of those streams from before. So let's add in one of the rugby matches. So we can overlay these in real time. This is ridiculous. I still can't believe you can do this. You can put both cameras up there. You want to adjust the frame, put a border on it. Yep, we can put a border on that, no problems. There we go. If you want to change the corners and make it rounded, we can do that as well. We can also crop it. So say we wanted to have that classic round camera look. We can do that as well. And rotate. Like you shouldn't, a device this small, Chris, shouldn't be able to do this. It's just ridiculous. So that's a quick example of a little scene, which now looks terrible because I haven't actually laid it out properly. But what's even cooler is say you want to actually tell us straight over the top and go, now just watch this coach here. He's going to do something funny in a minute. I've got a funny feeling about how he's going to interact with that. Put this in front of your casters. And you may worry, well, hang on a second, if I put it in front of the casters, they're going to draw all over it. I'm not going to have control of my cameras. No, because you can plug it into Companion and you can control the thing from that. it really enables that kind of run and gun live stream that it's usually requires so much more equipment to do. So while it's not really creating a new market, it's opening up lower end markets and to be easier to access. Being able to use this not just with the tiny touchscreen, but with another device. I've actually got a cable here handy. So I'm going to unplug and plug that one in now for you. And so you'll see as I plug that in, it now shows you on the screen the different options you have. So you can use that output as a clean feed. You can use that as a multi-view. I'll switch over to that so you can see that. You can also duplicate the screen that it's currently using. What's really cool is you can indeed, on that USB cable, plug in a keyboard, plug in a mouse, use another touch screen to control this, which is amazing. And the weird part that people ask me about is why has it got rotate screen, which you can see I'm rotating through the screen now. This also does 9:16, so vertical video for your TikToks, for your Instagrams, for your Facebooks, which is also out of control. That's why it's got the ability to rotate those feeds right in there. Oh, bonded cellular, plug in multiple modems and all of a sudden you've got bonded streaming. It's not just I've got one network and it might work. I'm using Telstra, Vodafone, Optus. Again, hours of conversation we could have, Chris. One more thing being the web page. So not only can you control it on the device, control it using network, control it using the USB-C with a keyboard and mouse, you can also control it over the network. And you can see here, we can see the inputs that we have selected. We can select the different scenes, as you can see here, that crazy one that I created earlier. You can set up all your different encoding profiles. There's 2 encoders in it. You can set up your streaming destinations. You can add any one of these streaming destinations, multiple at a time. You can record, you access the recordings you've done, and it can be controlled from the Magewell Control Hub. Sorry, that was one more thing that I had to add. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Adrian, for your insights. Sometimes a product comes along that doesn't just meet demand, it creates demand. And I'm convinced that Director-Mini is just such a product. It's not the first switcher / streamer / recorder on the market, but its combination of power, portability and features makes it an extremely compelling proposition, not only for anyone currently in the business of providing commercial streaming services, but anyone else besides. Priced at around $2,500 Australian dollars, Director-Mini isn't a trivial investment, but given it provides almost all you need to produce professional looking streams, it's easy to see just how any organisation or club, such as a footy club, church or bridge club even, will be interested in this product.